I am not a really thankful person, and many of my friends will point that out to me. I'm usually complaining, criticizing myself and others, and always expect better things to come. And while battling depression, I think I should actually be more grateful. I embarked on a journey to discover that writing a simple thank you note can actually save your life. But it's not that simple as it might sound. On this journey I need to revise why my journal is still empty, why one novel written 300 years ago has to do with this latest scientific findings, what one basketball coach has to do with all this, and what latest psychology studies teach us about our sense of survival and connection to others by saying simple thank you. Because this is Fabric of Life, a show where we combine everything from cutting-edge science to classical paintings, from historical novels to more complex mathematics. My name is Vladislav Radek. I'm a writer and a mathematician in the search for answers to the world's most complicated questions. And today we have an important one: why saying thank you might save your life. Let me take you on an adventure.
Hello, Mr. Brown.
Bad boy. I'm on a mission and I won't stop.
This is a 6-minute diary gifted to me by my really good friend a couple years ago. She said it changed her life and it will certainly change mine. Needless to say, a couple of years passed and I didn't put one single word into it. I was thinking that those gratitude journals are reserved only for Instagram influencers and stay-at-home moms, but after a couple of years of apathy, loneliness and envy, my eyes fell on this dusty old journal and I was thinking, if I don't have a right answer, science or even classical literature surely do. And they have. Needless to say, I was wrong, so wrong. Like, this book can save my life. But let's start from the beginning. Gratitude might be more beneficial than we commonly suppose. One recent study asked subjects to write a note of thanks to someone and then estimate how surprised and happy the recipient would feel, an impact that they considered underestimated. Another study investigated the health benefits of writing thank you notes. The researchers found out that writing as few as 3 weekly thank you notes over the course of 3 weeks improved life satisfaction, increased happy feelings and reduced symptoms of depression. While I teach mathematics and university, I often ask my students to, instead of dull and routine homework, read one of the great novels of literature that I propose. Daniel Defoe's 300-year-old Robinson Crusoe, often regarded as the first novel published in English. If you're literate and you need a short story, here is the one. A bloke had an incident with a ship and he is the sole survivor on the desert island. Since there was no phones back then, he didn't have a TikTok account to ask people for help. Instead of giving into a despair, he makes a list of things for which he is grateful, including the fact that he's a shipwrecked sole survivor and that has been able to salvage many useful items from the ship. Defoe's masterpiece, which is often ranked as one of the world's greatest novels, provides a portrait of gratitude in action that is timely and relevant today as it has ever been. It is also one which contemporary psychology and medicine are just beginning to explain. Simply put, for the most of us, it is far more helpful to focus on things in life for which we can express our gratitude than those that incline us toward resentment and regret. When we focus on the things that we regret, such as failed relationships, family disputes and setbacks in career and finance, we tend to become more regretful.
Conversely, when we focus on the things we are grateful for, a great sense of happiness tends to pervade our lives. And while no one would argue for cultivating a full sense of happiness, there's a mounting evidence that counting our blessings is one of the best habits we can develop to promote mental health and physical health as well. A study from 2003 showed that even people with neuromuscular disease showed better improvement of their moods, coping behaviors, health behaviors, physical symptoms, and overall life appraisals compared with both healthy and people with same disease who did not indulge themselves into gratitude practices. Historical evidence of rituals of gratitude is enormous, from ancient times to biblical verses, from rituals of gratitude of tribes in Native American cultures to requirements in Quran. It seems that history of civilization bases its survival on simple words: being thankful.
Recent scientific studies support those ancient teachings. Individuals who regularly engage in gratitude exercises, such as counting their blessings or expressing their gratitude to others, exhibit increased satisfaction with relationships and fewer symptoms of psychiatric illness. And the benefits are not only psychological or physical. They may also be moral. Those who practice gratitude also view their lives less materialistically, and they suffer from less envy.
Reflecting on generosity and gratitude, the great basketball coach John Wooden once offered two advices to his players and students. First, he said, "It's impossible to have a perfect day unless you have done something for someone who will never be able to repay you." In saying this, Wooden wanted to promote purely generous act as opposed to those performed with the expectation of reward. Second, he said, "Give thanks for your blessings every day." His team won 10 NCAA championships in 12-year period, making him a legend of sport and coaching.
In 2013, in the Journal of Clinical Psychology, gratitude practice is recognized as psychotherapeutic intervention. Steps to incorporate it in your life are simple, but the process requires determination and time. Gratitude also tends to strengthen the sense of connection with others, making our relationships last longer, inspiring other people to do the same. It starts with you saying, "What are we grateful for?" and then continuing with recognizing an opportunity to help others. So I already wrote first couple of things in my journal of gratitude. And the first one is that I'm thankful to you for following me on this adventure. I know there's not too many of you, but every pair of eyes count, and opportunity to change somebody's life even slightly means a lot to me.
In regularly reflecting on the things in his life he's grateful for, Defoe's Crusoe believes that he becomes a far better person than he would have been if he remained in society from which he originally departed on his life-altering journey.
This is what he wrote. "I gave humble and hearted thanks that God has been pleased to discover me, and even that it was possible I might be more happy in this solitary condition than I should have been in liberty of society and the pleasures of the world. It was now that I began sensibly to feel how much more happy this life now I led was, with all its miserable circumstances, than the wicked, cursed, abnormal life I led all the past part of my days."
Hey, Vlad Svradik again here. I hope you liked this last episode of Fabric of Life. See you next week. In one of the next adventures, we are taking you back to Turkey to see why Istanbul might be the city in danger. After that, we're going to Barcelona to see how one artist continued creating even after his death. Until then, stay tuned and curious, and don't forget, libraries still exist.